G'day folks, I've come back down to the river on this magnificent winter's day to do a little bit of crayfishing to see if I can catch myself a big Murray spiny freshwater crayfish. Rightio, now this spot isn't the spot I was going to go to. I couldn't get into that spot, so I've come here instead. It's a bit of a death trap. Now I know this spot has got some really nice crayfish. It's a death trap for me because the river was flooded a few weeks ago. The banks are very, very muddy, and I've got to be very careful because it's very, very deep in there, and it's also very snaggy. So it's a death trap for me and a death trap for my cray nets. I've got 3 cray nets. 2 of them will be baited up with lamb's fry, and 1 of them will be baited up with dry dog food in a stocking. I've got heaps of yabbies on dry dog food, but never crayfish. This is an experiment. Let's go and see if it works. Now with my 3 nets, this one has the shortest rope, so I'll put that in here because in this spot I'm down closer to the water than what I will be over there. Rightio, now here goes the dog food bait. Now this will float, but that's okay because it'll only float like that, and the crayfish can still walk up to the meat, to the dog food, and then when I lift the net, they'll end up in the bottom. Rightio, net number 3, just out there. It'll be interesting to see how many of these nets make it home with me. I've got 1 in over there, 1 in here, and 1 in just there. It's 12:23. I am not checking these until 1 PM, and I promise I'm not going to have an impatient check. I'm going to give them 35 minutes. Well, there you go folks. Nice spot to pull up for a rest. I knew it was going to happen. I've fallen flat on my backside. Jesus, it's slippery. That's where I went down. It was always going to happen. I'm just glad I wasn't closer to the edge of the water. You can see where other people have slid over here, walking on this slippery mud. Now I know I promised that I'd wait till 1 o'clock, and it's only 12:38. So this one's been in 12 or 13 minutes. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to be good. I'm just going to have 1 impatient check. I've got 3 nets, but I'm only going to check 1 early. 1 out of 3. So I'm going to be 66% good and 33% impatient. I just can't help myself. To be honest, I'll be surprised if this net's not snagged. I told you. There goes the first net. Oh, jeez. That's the end of the first net. When you lose lures, you get snagged, and it's annoying. It's a part of fishing. Unfortunately, it's off. It got off. It got off. It's not in very good shape, but it got it off. It's repairable. Look at that. I got it back. I was just about to say, unfortunately, when you're crayfishing, losing nets is a part of the show as well. But the most disappointing part about losing cray nets is that you can't use them. These are cheaper than a lot of cod lures, but if you lose them, it just means you haven't got it to use anymore. You beauty. Where was that? That was out there, I think, wasn't it? What if I throw it out this way a bit more? See if that sort of makes any difference. 12:57. Almost 12:58. That's close enough. That's nearly 1 o'clock. Right, this is the one. If I'm going to get a cray, it's going to be in this net, I reckon. Does the dog food catch crayfish? Yes, it does. Dog food works. The old dog food in the stocking trick. Catching crayfish with goodos. Right, mate, nice little cray. See ya, buddy. Now, before I throw that net in, I might check this one too. Throw them back in at the same time. I like to do that. Have we got a cray? No. No cray. Alright, net. You go back. I've got my float pretty much tied to a stick just here, so that when I throw the net out, I can't throw the whole lot in the drink. That was actually a little bit snagged when I went to check it then, which was concerning. Right, wrap the slack around the stick. Throw the dog food net back in. I'm on the board. That was actually a much better throw than the last one. Although it did work. I caught a little cray. Right, now this is the snaggy net, the snaggiest net. Will it be snagged again? It won't, but it's not on the bottom either. It's only in about 2 feet of water, which tells me it's sitting up on a snag. I wonder what happens if I move it down there. I wonder if that'd help. Right, I'll try out here instead. With the hope that it won't be as snaggy as that other spot. 102. Okay, Nats. I'll see you at 140. See you at 145. I'll give you 40 minutes. Geez, I'm getting sick of people whinging all the time. $5 for a cup of coffee, $4 for a glass of diet cake, $16 to park for 4 hours. I've had a gutful of it, I really have. If I don't stop whinging, I'm not going to let them come and visit me anymore. Rightio, folks. 1:55. It's been almost an hour since I checked these nets. Surely an hour's got to deliver the goods. Surely. Well, there's one little one, and it's probably even the same one. I think it's a little bit bigger than the last one. He's a similar size. Either way, he's very much undersized. Mate, let go of the rope, or you'll have to fall. Right, he'll let go in a second. There he goes. His grip is slipping. Just let go, you wally. Just let go. I'm going to throw you back in with the net in a minute. Just let go. If I dip that rope into the water, he'll disappear. There he goes. Right. 2 little ones on the board. I think that one may have been just a smidge bigger than the last one. I like to check the nets before I throw them back, and I forgot that time. Oh well. Ugh. Have we got a monster? Have we got a monster? No, nothing. Nothing, although there is quite clearly a few bite marks in the meat. So something's been in to visit. I've had a visitor. Right, now, is this spot better than that spot? That was the snaggiest spot ever. Is this spot less snaggy? Yes, but the net doesn't feel heavy. And that's why. Because there's nothing in it. That meat hasn't been touched. Just on 2 o'clock. I'll give them at least 40 minutes, I reckon. At least 40. I gave them an hour that time, and it didn't do any better than what it did when I gave them half an hour. So I'll give them 40 or so and see how that goes. Every time I check these nets, I've got to walk up and down this steep bank. It's very good exercise. Who says that crayfishing isn't good exercise? Look at that. I've been up and down there half a dozen times today. That's okay, I need the exercise. I rang my local council the other day and I said, can I please have permission to have a skip, have a skip on the front lawn? And he said, yeah, sure, Robbie, go for it. Grab a rope and skip all you like. You need the exercise, lard ass. Rightio, before I check the nets for the 3rd time, let's recap. 3 nets, I've checked them twice, and I've caught 2 crayfish, both in this net, which has got dog food for bait. And so far, the other 2 nets have remained crayless. But the meat had been chewed in this other net when I checked it before. Oh, 2, and one of them's a big one. Yes, you ripper. And it's got no eggies. I think I've got myself a legal cray here. Well, that's small, obviously. That goes back. I'll get my trusty tape measure out that doesn't measure from 0 to 130. Now, my friend Matt Thurling gave me a proper tape measure last year or earlier this year when I caught up with him for measuring crays, and I knew exactly where it was up until about 2 weeks ago when I decided to clean that part. Ow, you ow, 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 ow. Look at that. I've been nipped by a big cray. He only just got me with the end of his claw. No eggs. Mate, I was going to throw you back, but if you're legal, I'm going to eat you now because that bloody hurt. As I was saying, Matt Thurling gave me a tape measure and I had it in a safe spot until about 2 weeks ago. Then I moved it and now I don't know where it is. He is. Oh, it's only right on 100. Folks, look at that. Look where that crayfish just got me. He is probably about 98 or 99 millimeters, I reckon. Without having a proper tape measure, I'm not willing to take the risk because he is very, very, very close to being a legal cray. Righto, big cranky cray that bit me on the finger. See you later, mate. That's that's the first. I've been bitten by plenty of yabbies, but that's the first time I've been bitten by a bloody cray. That's sore. Righto, net number 2. What can you do? Have you got a feisty, great big human flesh-eating crayfish in you as well? No. The dog food is really reigning supreme today. The dog food net is getting all the crayfish. So far I haven't got a single cray on lamb's fry, my favourite bait. My old favourite bait. I think dog food's my new favourite bait. I think I know what the crayfish's favourite bait is. My finger. Right, this is the crayless net. I'll be careful not to get blood all over the rope here. You know, with all the stupid shit that I do, I don't even think I've got a first aid kit in my car of any kind. Still nothing in this net. Wow. That net is really doing it tough today. Rightio, now Dr. Loretta and Nurse Holly are up there on the high bank. They've just come and done a bit of running first aid on my wounded digit. Righto, dog food net. Feels heavy this time. Had 2 in it last time. What's it got this time? 3! I've got the trifecta. Now Robbie, be very careful where you put your fingers. I will very carefully get these crayfish out of the net. Certainly all very tangled. Right, now the biggest one can go in the bucket. I'm going to measure him in a minute. That can go back. And that can go back. Right, now the biggest one is 90. The biggest one is 90. So it's a little bit too small. There's a centimetre too small. There's actually a big bit too small. See ya, mate. Right, so 3 in that net. What's in the other net? Once you start getting 2 or 3 big crays in it like just then, you can feel, this actually feels a bit heavier than last time too. Have I got my first cray in it? Yes. Another nice big one. This is going to be legal cray unless it's got eggs, which it has. Look at that, as soon as you get the real big ones, that's when you start getting eggs. Oh well, I can't get down any closer to the water. Curl your tail up and hold on tight. Okay folks, it's got 4 more. The meat's certainly been mauled there in that one. The dog food net is definitely leading the way. Rightio, it's time to check them again. 2 more checks. I'm going to check them now and give them another half an hour to 40 minutes, and I'm going to pull them out and go home. This net has certainly been the #1 performer of the day, and it's heavy again now. I don't know why, nothing in it. Whenever I make the call, I always make the wrong call. Righto, net number 2. It's very heavy. Snagged the buggery. Ugh. Yes, it's off, but it'll be damaged, but it's off. It's got a cray in it. Look at that. That's the net that was damaged and that was snagged, and it still managed to deliver a little small crayfish as opposed to a big small crayfish. That was a stupid thing to say, Robbie. There you go, mate. Now look at this. I just shared a post on Instagram and Facebook. I shared a post from Adventure Camping and Fishing advertising these nets. It was the same nets that I used, but they had 2 hoops in them because I changed mine. I've got a comment on YouTube that says they look a bit flimsy, but I like them flimsy for that very reason. That bent out of shape, but I got my net back and I can bend it back into shape. If it was rigid, it may very well still be on that snag on the bottom of the river. Oh my God, this is slippery. This net has been very quiet all day. Will it be the quiet achiever? Will it have a monster in it now? It feels a bit heavier than normal. Oh yeah, look. Oh my God. A monster. It's got 4 in it. This net has sat there all day and hasn't had a single cray in it. And when it does catch a cray, it catches 4. I left my phone in the car. I can't get a photo. 4 in the one net. One of them might just be a legal cray. This one here, or has it got eggs? Like mostly, yep. Like most crays that are legal size, it's in berry. Normally when you keep them upside down, provided they're not tangled, they'll let go. That beautiful big clean cray, she's got lots of eggs. Look at that. There you go, darling. Go and look after the future. I can't get any closer because I'm already falling in. See you, mate. Now we're in a hell of a mess here with this one. I'm going to have to go and get me a bucket so I can sit down and untangle it. Because I've got a back that's been pretty much worked to the bone, it gets very sore at times, so I've really got to look after it. I don't know, I have to cut that out of the net. Mate, you get yourself into a hell of a mess. Right, well that one certainly gets the award for the most tangled crayfish of the day. Have a look at them. They really are a prehistoric looking thing, aren't they? Look at the spikes on the claws here. Look at the spikes all over them. The only wonder they call them a spiny freshwater crayfish. Look down the back here. Look at the spikes on the tail. They're like the Vikings of the river. Rightio folks, well it's that time of the day. I'm going to go around my nets and check them for the last time and then I'm going to head home. I've had a fantastic time. I've had a couple of minor incidences. I've fallen flat on my backside in the mud and I've been bitten by a big crayfish. Other than that, it's been great. As this is my last time, you'll see down here, my knife is stuck in the ground, pinning my rubbish to the ground. That's because I never leave my rubbish behind. One of my greatest pet hates is when people leave their rubbish behind. So I'll put a rock on that now to stop the wind, not that there's much wind. I'm going to check my nets and see what I can get in the last go. This has been the best net without a doubt today. The dog food bait has been very successful, although I did notice last time I checked it that the stocking was starting to be torn apart by crayfish, and we've got one little one in the dog food net. You can see here the stocking is starting to really break up. Nice cray, medium size. Gee, they're a big crayfish, aren't they? Like, they are a huge crustacean. That is well and truly undersized, and in most parts of the world that'd be classed as a monster. The downside to the dog food bait is that I've got rubbish to take home. I've got to get the dog. I'll get the dog food out of the stocking, then I've got to take the stocking home and put it in the bin. All that dog food there will get eaten up and break down and it's biodegradable, but the actual stocking isn't. So the downside to the dog food bait is that I've got rubbish to take home, and that after a while the stocking does become damaged. But I've been here for a few hours. I've checked this net 6 or 7 times and it's done really, really well. And the upside is it's certainly caught plenty of crayfish. Rightio, net number 2, snagged again. Will it come off this time? Yes, it did. I wonder if it bent like last time. Yes, it did. Net number 2's in a really bad way at the moment, I think. Rightio, now time to check the last net. So slippery going down here. This is the net that's caught nothing all afternoon except the last pull when it had 4 in it. If I slip here, fall in the water, it'll be hard to get out and I could end up drowning. I've got to tell you, I'm not scared of dying, not at all. I just don't want to be there when it happens. Alright, have we got 4 more? I feel like I might have something in it. It certainly feels a bit heavy, oh yes. Oh, look at that big one. Have I caught a legal cray here? 2 nice sized crays. That one's got no eggs. That's a start. This one has got eggs. Have a look at that. 2 rippers. That one's got eggs, so she can go back. See you, darling. This one can come over here to the tape measure. Oh, that is 200. Oh, that's 105. It's a legal cray. You little beauty. My first legal cray of the season. And I think I'm going to put it back anyway. It's only just legal. I've had a few people ask me if I can do a crayfish catch and cook. I think I will do that, but just not today. I'm not in the mood. Rightio, folks. Yes, this crayfish is legal, but I'm not going to keep it. I'll just enjoy catching them. I will keep one soon for a catch and cook, I promise. Right folks, if you've enjoyed this video, then chances are you're going to enjoy most of my videos. So why not hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing when I upload a new video. Thank you very much for watching. I've just had an absolute blast. I only got the one legal cray and I put him back because it was only just legal. And I just love catching them. It's so much fun.